Happy Friday, everybody. Hope you guys are off to a great start today. And I'm really excited to cover this week's core healthy video topic on healthy sleep. If you didn't tune in on Monday, please watch that video. We have a lot of great tips from our Health Huddle that are really covering this awesome topic of healthy sleep. I know for many of you guys were pretty surprised by this topic. And yes, it plays a major role in our overall health journey. And really, sleep is the glue that holds everything together and helps you see all the hard work you're putting in on the topics we've covered so far. So we've covered healthy fueling. We've also covered healthy motion and how that affects our body and why that all plays a role all together and how it works long term and how we make that a habit. So we're going to cover a little bit of what we covered on Monday just to give you tips on how to implement this habit and why it's so important. If you want more information on this topic, please dive into Dr. A's Habits of Health. It's all in chapter number 17. All the things I'm going to be covering today and then some. So let's hop into it and cover some things that we can do on healthy sleep. First, we're going to cover why it's so important and why we want to put some time onto this and what we should do and what the body needs. So first and foremost is the body needs about 7 hours of sleep to get a really good regimen and to recuperate on what our body needs. Women need a little bit less, men need a little bit more, but that's what studies show. But basically breaking it down, we want to focus on setting up our schedule so that we make up the time and put it in our routine to get a quality about 7 hours of sleep every single night. This is important not only for not only for quantity that we get, but the quality. Because sleep is the time where our body does the largest amount of recuperation and regeneration. So we want to make sure we're getting quantity that we need, but also quality. I'm going to go into this a little bit more in detail. But throughout the evening, our body goes in and out of different cycles of sleep. The deepest level of sleep being REM cycle sleep. It's called rapid eye movement, and it's the deepest level of sleep where our body does the most regeneration, recuperation, and it is the most restful sleep that we need to get to wake up feeling good, empowered, and ready to take on the day. It's a difference from feeling kind of like sluggish when you wake up and hitting the ground running when you get ready, feeling rested and feeling good. And if you're taking care of all the things that we talked about, because healthy motion and healthy fueling feed right into this, this will assist with getting quality sleep and getting into REM cycle sleep if you follow all of these guidelines just on sleep by itself. The cool thing about this and why we talked about it being the glue is because sleep does more than just help us feel better and get rested and do our recuperation and the quality of it helping with all of that. But it also is like a snowball effect because it affects all the other things in our body. So things like stress, not just the stress that we have from our everyday life because we're Americans and we have stress, but I'm talking about the physical stress and the weight of not getting quality sleep and how that can affect us on the hours that we are awake. The stress that we can maybe be increasing because we're not getting quality sleep will also snowball effect into our cravings that we have and our ability to resist those cravings. So our environment around us is already filled with all these unhealthy decisions and choices and things that are easy to grab. We want to make it easy for ourselves to say no, and getting healthy sleep not only gets you those results we were talking about, but it makes it easier to stay on track. Additionally, not getting quality sleep will affect cortisol levels, and basically, in short, that just makes it harder for us to lose weight or even maintain the weight that we want to get at because it's harder to, it basically messes with our insulin production and how we can break down that fat or continue to stay at a healthy weight. And again, going into the glue portion of this, like I said, just these bullet points at the bottom, it affects our ability to lose weight or can affect gaining weight or our ability to manage our weight. It increases our stress, like I said, which affects our appetite. That's something I already covered. The cravings that we'll have. And importantly, mood. I didn't cover mood because over the next few weeks, we're going to get into healthy mind and healthy relationships. And obviously, if we're short on sleep and we're not in a good mood, we're going to have a shorter fuse for the people around us, and we're not going to be developing those strong relationships and that healthy mind that we want to do. So it all plays a big role, and that's why it's the glue and the cornerstone of a healthy routine. It makes it easier, helps us get the results, and it all plays a really big cycle. So you may have thought it was this one thing that we get whenever we try to rest, and maybe it's that we thought of it more of a commodity than a necessity, but this is why it's so important. So right off the bat, these are the things we discussed on Monday, but these are the things you can put in right into play to help your sleep improve, get into that REM cycle and improve that quality of sleep and help your results that you're getting currently, because you guys are already getting great results. I've been loving seeing the progress updates. Can't wait for this week as we round out week number 3 and cross over the halfway mark of this 5 weeks as we're kicking off this new year and making these core healthy habits. I'm really excited to see how sleep played a role and the progress you've made just these last 3 weeks, because you're probably starting to see changes in your body and your routine. So first and foremost is having a relaxing sleep environment. These are a bunch of things that you want to implement right away that'll affect them right off the bat. One, having a very cool environment where you sleep. So not too warm, nice and cool so you can remain cool throughout the evening. Make sure it's comfy. Make sure you got great bed material and that you got a good environment for where you actually rest your body. Make sure that you have no stimulants. So that can be all the way back to having a TV in your bedroom. If you have it, I'm sorry if I'm the bearer of bad news, but you want to get rid of that right away, because that is a stress, that's a light, that's a stimulant right before you go to sleep, and it's in there and you're bringing that stimulant into your environment. So you might not need to tackle that one this week. It's just a reminder of just your healthy sleep environment, but it also pertains to the wall colors you have. Are they relaxing and soothing to you, or are they stimulating? Do you have a bright red in your room, or do you have like a nice relaxing blue or a calming gray or something like that? Lastly on that, just making sure your electronics are out of that environment, because again, those are stimulants that get the mind rolling at a high pace before you go to bed, and making it harder for your mind to get into that restful sleep that we were talking about. So sleep environment is huge, and making sure it's a really nice dark environment where light stimulants can't mess with you throughout the evening while you're trying to get your rest. Number 2 is avoiding caffeine later in the day. Although we might not be feeling the buzz effects from our caffeine intake, caffeine has a half-life that will affect you all the way into the evening. So even if you're not feeling that buzz, that caffeine effect is still firing in our brain, making it harder for it to calm down and get into that restful sleep. So trying to avoid that caffeine use later in the day will be huge and play a big role. Another one is decreasing stimulants before bedtime. So not only in the room environment, but what you're doing before bedtime. So shutting off the phone and not staring at it as you go to bed, really winding down and shutting off the TV before you start making it to bedtime, because these are all things that stimulate our mind and get it racing. But also doing things like turning off your Wi-Fi on your phone, which has been proven to have an effect on the way you sleep, and things like that. So just decreasing the stimulants before bedtime. Winding down the healthy water intake is number 4. We covered that in week number 1. It's really important to get healthy water intake, but not if it's waking us up in the middle of the night and messing with our quality sleep and our REM cycle. So make sure to scale that water down. Make sure you go to bed on an empty bladder. Make sure you empty it out, and make sure that that's not something that's waking you up during the evening, because we want to get our healthy water in. We just don't want to get it in too late in the evening where it's waking us up during the middle of the night. Number 5, quick tip, and this is something I make fun of my wife for. It's pretty funny, but is wearing an eye mask, and it is a huge benefit. Susan kind of went over the love affair that she has with hers, and it does play a huge role in this. So try using an eye mask if you haven't before. It actually is something that's great, and after making fun of my wife, I have tried it, and it's actually something I'm working on during the season. An eye mask is something that it helps sleep greatly. Number 6 is start turning down the lights before bedtime. If you're in the Northwest, it's probably getting dark around 4:30, which is kind of sad during this winter season, but our bodies are programmed to tire down and shut down when it's dark outside. So if it's light inside, it messes with your body's effects. So one thing we do is we start turning down the lights as we get closer to bedtime. So the closer we are to bedtime, the less lights that are on in our house. So try doing that. It starts training your body that it's time to go to sleep and allowing your body to get into that environment. And then number 7, which is right off of tip number 6, is having a winding down, relaxing routine. We covered the tea that you can do. We have a great sleepy time tea that promotes healthy sleep. You might take a relaxing bath. You might read a book. Anything that you could get into an environment and a routine of doing that lets your body know as you're building the habit that it's not even needing to think about it anymore, and you're not even working to calm down your body, because your body's recognizing by the routine that you're doing that, hey, sleep time's coming, and you're doing exactly what's going to help me get into that good sleep situation that I want to be in. So that's the tips I have for you this week. I can't wait to hear what you guys have been implementing and what's been working for you. In the video comments down below when I post this video tomorrow, I'm looking forward to seeing your guys' what you have been implementing and what you're noticing as you thicken up that glue that holds your routine together. So that being said, hope you guys are getting some good rest. Want to wish you guys sweet dreams, and I'm looking forward to what you guys are learning on this topic and how it affects you and how it's playing a big role in your body. Have some good sleep and look forward to having a restful sleeping weekend. Talk to you guys later.